Boy, does it just escalate when it's coming to these people. And like I've always said, when it comes to the left side of politics that allegedly exists, they're all the same. They're more subtle. They'll sell you with a smile. Everything's okay. We're working on peace. Meanwhile, one of the most warmongering administrations of my lifetime, and that's saying something, under the Biden administration, could very well be surpassed by this administration, which is a bunch of religious, nut jobs. And these people had nothing to do with the Christian religion. They just use it as a shield. And these are the same people that probably would kill Christ for being too liberal. And the like from top to bottom, whether it's the Democrats or Republicans, they're all sold out by the Israeli lobby dollar and the Saudi lobby dollar as well. But Israel is where they find a commonality because evangelical Christians have more in common when it comes to using religion as a shield, conveniently, to fight against a common enemy, which is Islam or Arabs, Muslims, whether it be a Sunni or Shia. And who wishes for this to happen? Well, Christian evangelical fascists and those who sold out to the lobby Israeli dollar, and of course, the nut jobs in Israel. And when you have a bunch of Zionists, along with those really fucking crazy bunch of bastards, the Kahanists, people from the religious Zionist party, or you got Otzmet Yahud under Ben Gvir, and these people believe in the fucking end of the world, just like evangelical Christians. They want a better world, the better world that exists outside the United States. They hate the world and everything in it. They consider the left, the atheist, the socialist, the communist, any type of idiism that is a opposition to Christian evangelicalism is considered the enemy. And the only good enemy is a dead one. Now, say what you will about the subtlety of the crazy anarchists and the socialists and all the otherists regarding the left. They're not into martyrdom. These people under Trump are into that. The people in Israel under Netanyahu, who they consider even too liberal, are into that. For the Christian evangelicals, they hope the end of the world comes in the Battle of Megiddo, in which they'll try to replicate. And the religious fucking nutjobs, the Kahanists, who I cannot believe that they're in the fucking Knesset. Well, they want the third temple built, which brings about the end of the world. And this is what we're battling. And on top of this, look, to give you a little bit of background, when it comes to Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and the left, it's basically just about, oh, we're going to defeat Hamas and Hezbollah, and we need the American people to be patient. Peace is on the way, with a smile and a face and an aging mummy to tell you this, and an idiot drunkard and the worst vice president of my lifetime. When you have people like this guy who comes right out and says it, we didn't provide, this is Tom Cotton, one of the worst conservatives in Congress, right up there with the John Boltons of the world. We didn't provide aid to Nazi Germany during World War II. The idea is preposterous. Why should Israel be forced to provide aid to Hamas-run Gaza? To Tom Cotton, the entire Gaza area is Hamas, which, that makes sense because then you could kill everybody easily. Oh, they're Hamas. When you dehumanize a population, it's easier to kill them. And you only do this when you want to get rid of somebody permanently. They don't believe in a gradual change. They want Gaza run by Israel. End of story. And these people are going to help Israel do that. Tom Cotton has no place in politics. This man is a bona fide danger to the American people and to people worldwide. I hate this guy. He does not belong representing people. And yeah, we have a large percentage of people in the conservative circle who support this guy. I'm a pure madman, by the way. Bought out by the Israeli lobby dollar, just like everybody else. Oh, he's not alone. Here's another nut job, Lindsey Graham. It is long past to shut down the Iranian regime's nuclear weapons ambitions. The Ayatollah and his henchmen are not normal. They are religious Nazis. If they develop a nuclear weapon, they will use it in the pursuit of their theocratic agenda. Imagine this. The theocratic agenda, wasn't that Saudi Arabia your ally? The spread of Wahhabism? What do you think that didn't come from the Iranian regime? The Ayatollahs actually, the only good thing about the Iranian mullahs was that they were in opposition to the Sunni Wahhabi groups. In fact, so much so that they had the Iranian Revolutionary Guard as well as the brigades fighting against the Islamic State in Iraq. I mean, in Syria. Until the Trump administration, the previous one, went and killed Qasem Soleimani, who was actually destroying the Islamic State, helped to destroy them along with the Russians. You wonder why we're at war with Russia and Iran on the down low. We didn't come right out and say it, but we CIA run wars are basically doing that. We did in Afghanistan, now we're doing it in Ukraine. All at the behest of the common people, by the way. Lindsey Graham has no place in politics, just like Tom Cotton. And, this, of course, this is February 26th. Now, look, ladies and gentlemen, I don't vote. I'm not left and right. I don't believe there is a left and right. I believe that there is a bunch of people with different agendas, but the common goal is to keep power consolidated. Now, the different agendas are really just domestic. When it comes to geopolitical issues, they all are on the same page. Israel is ruthless, run by a bunch of religious and nationalist nutjobs. Well, today I saw this, and this is the reason why I'm making the video. Here's Representative Claudia Henny. My bill, the Recognizing Judea and Samaria Act. This is somebody who's the chair of the Election Integrity Caucus, would codify Chairman Mast's directive to only refer to the West Bank as Judea and Samaria, recognizing Israel's rightful claim over this historically and biblically important region. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't care what you voted for. Unless you're a downright racist, a religious fundamentalist, you believe in God and God is white, and that Israel is biblically important, we need to save it at the behest of people, you aren't a Christian. What did Christ say to Barabbas in the New Testament, right? Barabbas, who wanted to overthrow the Romans with the help of Jesus Christ, and Christ turned to him and said, Barabbas, those who live by the sword will die by the sword. And when you have people like this, you wonder why the Muslim world hates us. Because imagine if you're a Muslim in Iraq or in Gaza, Afghanistan, Syria, Libya, Pakistan, and you were a victim of their drone strikes, of their Western values in the form of missiles. And your family is destroyed, your livelihood is destroyed. Who are you joining? You're going to be joining the terrorist groups like Hamas and Hezbollah and the Al-Aqsa brigades and Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, Boko Haram in Africa, to fight against who? The West. Violence is a reciprocating problem. Violence begets violence. And we're inviting violent people like Tom Cotton, Lindsey Graham, Claudia Tenney, Brian Mast, who I'm going to get to in a minute, the worst one of them all, to represent us as the people. And so when bin Laden once said that it's up to the American people to vote out the people that are at war with Islam, who bomb countries like Iraq, will expect terrorism to happen. And when you have these nut jobs who basically want to redesignate all the Arabs out of Gaza into Jordan and Egypt, and when you destroy tens of thousands of lives and kill children and women under bombs, do you really think that they're just going to lay down and die? You're giving fuel to the Islamic fundamentalist groups. And how do you defeat these groups? With a flower? No. By basically being nonpartisan, by trying to help educate, westernize these poverty-stricken, mullah-dominated, madrasas with education, health, something to look forward to in the future. But when you destroy that future, they only have what is now. And what is now? Revenge. You think bin Laden just woke up one day and became a terrorist? You think Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi just became a terrorist? These people were made. Now, I'm not giving them any type of excuse, because bin Laden is a monster, and so is Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. But so are these people. And just because they wear a suit and tie doesn't mean that they're not. Imagine this: Judea and Samaria Act. Biblically important region. Who gives a fuck about your fiction? These people are a direct threat to humanity and peace in the region. End of story. Now, last but not least, the worst one of them all, Brian Mast, a sellout and a traitor to the United States. And I'm willing to say right to his face. Brian Mast forces staff to call West Bank Judea some forces. Forces. What the fuck is going on here? February 27, 2025, House Foreign Affairs Committee Chair Brian Mast has instructed GOP committee staffers to refer to the West Bank by its Hebrew name, Judea and Samaria. He's a sellout to the lobby dollar. He served in the IDF. I would consider him an enemy to the United States, straight enemy. That means deported. Go fight with Israel. I mean, you lost your legs already. Too bad you didn't lose your head. I'm a threat? Dude, you're responsible for the deaths of thousands. I mean, you lost your mind. You're a sellout. And every single one, Tom Cotton, Lindsey Graham, Claudia Tenney, Brian Mast, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, they are all sellouts for the lobby dollar, Israeli lobby dollar. AIPAC should be labeled a foreign entity and banned from the United States. Completely banned. It's making monsters out of people. And soon enough, ladies and gentlemen, if we don't basically take care of this problem, which is basically, face-to-face talking with these people, I'm not advocating for violence whatsoever. Because like I said, violence only begets violence. These people should never see your vote. And I know that's a pipe dream, but these people are enemies to humanity. And what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, within this period of 3 to 5 years, we're going to go to war with Iran, whatever's left of Syria, Lebanon. We already are in Lebanon. I mean, we send military aid to these nut jobs in Israel. I'm not afraid to say it. They're nut jobs. Now, my only fear is that we're going to have the anti-Semites hitch the wagon the people who really just hate Jews. And, if you're on the fence because of what's happening in Israel, don't allow for your prejudice to become a convenience and hitch your ride to the anti-Zionist, anti-Kahanist bandwagon. Because there are good Jews in the world, even in Israel. Just remember, in December 2022, tens of thousands of people took to the streets to protest against Netanyahu becoming the prime minister for the 6th time. Don't forget that. Please don't forget that. Because if you're just going to hate Jews, then you're no different than these idiots who just hate Muslims. We need cooler heads to prevail. We need righteous people. And we need people who are religiously moderate. I'm atheist, but I believe that the United States is initially formed as a country where you have freedom of religion to worship. These people don't want that. They want to rewrite the Bill of Rights. They wanted to do away with the Constitution because they want a religious caliphate. Brian Mast, Lindsey Graham, and all these other Christian fascists like Richie Torres, who speaks more about Israel than his own district in the Bronx. These people want a religious caliphate, just like the Taliban. There's no difference. It's funny how they talk about Hamas being a terrorist organization. Well, they're terrorists too. And they want a Christian caliphate. They want the United States to be totally Christian. What's the difference? There is none. So I implore you people, and I know I'm not going to reach a very big audience with this, but if I could just reach one person in the hopes of maybe, I don't know, creating a domino effect in the future, well, then it was worth it. Because I'm not going to stay silent on this. I'm just not. And you shouldn't either, because these people are doing it in our name. All right, guys, have a good night, and I'll see you next week.